Sahana Bhavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Sairam everyone. We will continue from where we left off on the Shivokasana Mantra. As you all know, we had looked at the 22 mantras, 11 pairs of mantras, which actually constitute the Shivokasana mantras proper. And then we have started looking at a series of mantras which follow that. We have covered in that series of mantras the first 5 mantras which follow, which relate to the different aspects of Lord Shiva, the 5 aspects of Lord Shiva. They are also called the 5 various descriptions are given, different explanations are given. They are considered the 5 phases of the Shiva also, which we have looked at. We went through, I'll just quickly go through just to revise and bring to your mind what we discussed. So they are called Pancha Brahma Mantra, the 5 Brahma Mantras. And they are also called Pancha Mukha Mantras, the 5 face mantras, which is also Pancha Vaktra Mantra. Vaktra also means face, so mantra. So they relate to the what's called the Pancha Murtyaha. Murti means singular, Murtyaha means plural, Pancha Murtya means 5 murtis, or 5 forms you can say. They are Brahma, Vishnu, Rudra, Maheshwaraha, and Sadashivaha. They are engaged in 5 different activities: Pancha Kritya, Srishti, creation; Sthiti, maintenance; Samhara, dissolution; Tirobhava is hiding, okay; Anugraha, that is to grant grace. They are related to 5 phases of Shiva, which is Sadyojata, Vamadeva, Aghora, Tatpurusha, and Ishana. We have so far looked at the first 3, Sadyojata, which is considered west facing; Vamadeva, which is north facing; Aghora, which is south facing. Okay. We have looked at it in detail. So we are going to look at the next 2, which is Tatpurusha and Ishana. So I will go through the mantra, which is in the Shivopasana Mantra group of mantras, which is part of the Mahanarayana Upanishads, which I think I have already covered, which is part of the Taittiriya Aranyaka of the Yajurveda. So I will just read Tat Purushaya Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Okay. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. This, I think many of you will recognize that this is in the form of a Gayatri Mantra. There are Gayatri Mantra is of what's called the Gayatri Chandas, which is 8 times 3 is the way it is Gayatri Chandas, or the meter of the Gayatri. And so let's first look at the meaning, because I think it's good that we are getting another look at a Gayatri Mantra, because there are groups of Gayatri Mantras which are also part of the Mahanarayana Upanishad, which are also chanted. But in this case, this particular one comes with the group of Shivokasana Mantras. First, let's look at this Tat Purusha with and Pu is a Sandhi. So it's Tat and Purushaya. Again, this Sha is cerebral Sha. So this tongue should point up towards your roof of the mouth. Tat Purushaya. Tat means that. In the Vedas and the Upanishads, God, divinity, is always referred as Tat, that thing. This means what is created in this world which we can see. Tat means that is beyond, which we cannot see. So always referred to as Tat. Tat does not have a gender even. It's called a neutral gender. It's neither masculine nor feminine. Tat. Purushaya. Purushaya means to or for that Purusha. Purushaha is person. So Purushaya means to that person, for that person. Vidmahe means we know. It's a present tense verb. Atmanepada is, there are 2 classes of verbs. This is called Vidmahe, is part of that. Okay, Vid means to know. Vidmahe means we know. It's a plural of the first person. Okay, Vidmahe. For anyone who is interested in Sanskrit, it's called Bahuvachana Uttama Purusha. Uttama Purusha means what relates to I or we. In English, it's called first person. In Sanskrit, it's called Uttama Purusha. I think we have looked at it a long time ago. That I've just revised. So, which is plural, which is Bahuvachana. Bahu means many, Vachana means number. Okay, Bahuvachana Vidmahi. Let's just dwell on this. We know for that person or to that person. That's the way it sort of constructed all Gayatri Mantras. Why? To attain the Lord Tatpurusha. Okay, we know. Whatever knowledge we gather should be for attaining that Tatpurusha. Tatpurushaya Vidmahe. So what do we come to understand? I thought, this I have taken this from Bhashyam. Bhashyam is a commentary on Narayana Upanishad or Tatri Aranyaka by a great renowned scholar, a rishi also you can call him, called Shayana Acharya. Okay, Shayana Acharya. He has written commentary on various Vedas and Upanishads. In his commentary, he has said this, so I thought I will dwell on it. What do we have to know? Vidmahe means we come to know. He says, Tatpurusham Vidmahe. What is the knowledge we have to gain? We have to gain the knowledge of Tatpurusha himself. To attain the Lord, we have to get to know about him. Okay. We know Tatpurusha. Okay. Tatpurusham Vidmahe. We know Tatpurusha. Vidmahe means we know Tatpurusham, that Purusha. How do we come to know? I think that's a big question, which is sort of understood. Vidmahe means we know. How do you come to know? So Shayanacharya goes to explain Guru Shastra Mukhat Janimah. Guru Shastra Mukhat Janimah. Guru means Guru, we all know. Shastra means Shastras, which is Vedas, Upanishads, and whatever is considered Shastra, scriptures. Mukhat, through them. Okay, through. Mukha means face. That also means an entry point. So through that, through Guru and Shastra, Janimah, that's another word for Vidmahe, we come to know. Okay, we become knowledgeable. Guru Shastra Mukha Janimah. So that's what in every Gayatri, Tatpurushaya Vidmahe means having come to know. That means we need to get to know Tatpurusha. How do we get to know? The only way through which we get to know is through a Guru and Shastras. So he explains it. So the mantras sometimes we recite. It also mantras create. It's called a formulae. That means it's formula for getting to know. Also is embedded in the mantra. So we should understand what exactly. Even though we think we chant, we get the benefit. Swami will say you need to understand and practice it also. So you have to learn about the Lord, about Tatpurusha through Guru and Shastra. So we'll go to the next part of the verse, which is Mahadevaya Dhimahi. Mahadevaya Dhimahi. So after gaining the knowledge as mentioned in the first line of the mantra, the first line of the mantra says, how do we come to know? Then Mahadevaya, to that Mahadeva, to attain that Mahadeva, for that Mahadeva, whichever we want to put. Dhimahi is we meditate. Again, Maha means great. Deva means shining one or the Lord or God. Whichever, I just put the word shining one as the meaning here. So can we meditate on the Lord? Only after coming to know. So that's with Tatpurushaya Vidmahe, Mahadevaya Dhimahi. So then we continuously meditate on that Lord. Okay. Tanno is Tannaha. Because of Sandhi, that Visarga has become O. Again, Tanno is again another Sandhi of two words, Samasa of two words, which is Tat and Naha. Tat means that or he. Naha, us. Okay. Rudraha, that Rudra, Prachodayat, may illumine. Okay. So first we come to know, then we meditate, and then the Lord will make our faculties illumined. So Janacharya says, how does the Lord illumine? He will make our knowledge better. He will make us meditate better. That is, Vidmahe and Dhimahi will be Prachodayat. So that is the attempt at manana, or mantra means in our mind we have to churn it. See, chanting is only done by the mouth. Ucharana is by the mouth. But mantra means it has to be dwelt on in the mind. We have to repeatedly contemplate on the mantra. That's why mananat trayate iti mantra, I think we have already looked at. So that will make us experience the mantra much better. So this Tatpurusha is the east facing face of the Shiva. Okay, Tatpurusha. Just for that, I thought I would just mention that. So that's as far as this mantra goes. I will again read it once if we proceed. Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Tatpurushaya Vidmahe Mahadevaya Dhimahi Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. I think there was a request to, bring material which Swami has spoken about on any of the mantras. So I have just I picked up something which relates to Tat as well as Purusha. So first I'm just going to read it out. This discourse which Swami gave in 1987 during birthday. Okay, it's in 2 slides. I will just read. Today we are wasting our time on physical and mental exercises for spiritual realization. The truth is, there is only one divine spirit that is immanent in everything. There is no dichotomy between the worldly and the spiritual. The phenomenal universe is a projection of the spirit. All that exists in this cosmos are like the sparks of are like sparks from a divine flame. All living beings have emanated from the divine, and they have all the qualities of the divine. Take the other great pronouncement, Tat Tvam Asi, what thou art. I think I should put, sorry, that maybe it's a better translation. That thou art. What art thou unless you know what that is? You cannot understand the real meaning of this Upanishad declaration. So Swami says we should understand what is that Tat. From a seed, a plant has come, which grows into a tree. It branches, leaves, flowers, and fruits. All the leaves, flowers, and branches proclaim that they have come from the seed that became the plant. The seed is the basis for everything in the tree. As long as the seed remained a seed, it could not become a tree. It is when a seed gives up its form to become a plant that it can put forth the branches, leaves, flowers, etc. Man should also realize his essential nature and not be deluded by identifying with his true being with the body consciousness. For all the sorrows, sufferings man experiences, it is the body consciousness that is responsible. As long as this bodily delusion remains, the fruit of Ananda cannot be got. The seed of bodily attachment has to be given up for the tree of life to grow and yield the flower of jnana, wisdom, and the fruit of Ananda, bliss. So just this Tat Purusha itself, Tat is that, Twamasi is Purusha, is I think Swami is explaining. So that when we say Tat Purusha, it also brings out the meaning of Tat Tvam Asi. Okay. So Swami is telling that or the divinity is the seed. I just wanted to point out because today we are wasting our time on physical and mental exercises for spiritual excellence. So sometimes when Swami makes this statement, people think, okay, then we don't have to do any of the physical and mental. No, he says we are not using it well. Wasting means we are not using that opportunity well. Rather than saying, give that up, it's useless. It is not usefully pursued. I thought I just mentioned that. Then we will go to a description of Purusha, which Swami has described in a discourse in 1972, 17th October 1972, must be during a Dashara festival. The individual is the Purusha, the person who resides in this Pura, body, or castle or fort. Pura means castle or fort. So the Pura is our own body. Purusha is one who resides within that. The Lord of that Pura is Purusha, as Swami explains. There are two Purushas, the Chara Purusha and the Akshara Purusha. The Chara Purusha is bound up with a material life and so is subject to change. He is entangled with the five koshas, sheaths, which is Annamaya, Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya. Five sheaths. The five pranas, the vital airs, Prana, Apana, Vyana, Udana, Samana. And the five indriyas of senses of perception, which is eyes, sight, smell, taste, touch, and hearing. The Akshara Purusha is the Sakshi, witness. There is another overall Purusha, the Purusha Uttama, Purushottama, who is beyond the three segments of time, the three universes, and is everywhere at the same moment and all moments. His glory is evident in all things and beings. You should strive to escape from the identification with the body and feel that you are only the resident of the body, the Akshara Purushas. Then by sadhana, you are able to cognize the Akshara Purusha, the witness of even the Kshara Purusha, the Jiva. By practicing the unbroken presence of the Purushottama, Supreme Person, who is resplendent in all creation, you can ultimately merge in Him as the consummation of all the lives you have spent here below. So as you can see in this mantra, Tat Purusha, Tat is that divinity. Purusha designs the one who is resides in the body, that who is the Jiva. Once Tat Purusha Vidmahi, once you come to know and you meditate on this, Tanna Rudra Prachodayat. So if you go to the mantra 1 second, then you come to know Rudra. Okay. You understand Tat Purusha, then you contemplate on the Mahadeva. Okay. Mahadevaya Dhimahi, which is what Swami is telling in this. He's saying by practicing unbroken presence of the Guru, Purushottama, who is resplendent in all creation. Mahadeva he is. He is Rudra. You can ultimately merge in him. So as you can see, that is the essence of this mantra. Tat Purushaya Vidmahi, Mahadevaya Dhimahi, Tanno Rudra Prachodayat. Okay, so that's the mantra. Now we'll go on to the next one. This relates to the upward facing face. So we have looked at all the four directions: west, north, south, and east. Now the fifth face of Shiva is considered to be facing upwards, Urdhva Mukha. Okay. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara. This is Meeshwara. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahmadipatir Brahmanodipatir Brahma Shivo me astu sada Shivom. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahmadipatir Brahmanodipatir Brahma Shivo me astu sada Shivom. So we will look at the meaning of, and we'll break down the words and understand them. Ishanaha is ruler. One who owns something is called Ishanaha. The word Ish means to rule, the Lord. Ish is to rule. In this case, Anash means Ish Anash means one who owns, one who rules as well as one who owns, one who possesses. You tell me ruler. Okay. Ishvara also comes from the same word. Varaha means that is the best. The best ruler is Ishvara. Isha means just ruler. So all these three words are used to denote to Shiva. One is Isha, Ishvara, and Ishana. All of them relate to his rulership of the world, the universe. Ishana, ruler. Sarva Vidyanam. Sarva means all. Vidya means knowledge. Okay. Or study or subjects, whatever we want to call it, but I have not translated it because I felt there is no good translation of the word Vidya. Okay. Sarva Vidyanam. So he is the ruler of all knowledge, all Vidyas. Ishvaraha, again Lord, the best of lords. Sarva Bhutanam, of all beings and of all elements. So he is the Lord of all the elements. Bhuta also means element, also means every living being. Sarva Bhutanam Ishvaraha. Brahma. So the word which I put is Brahma here. I would rather, because there are three Brahmas appearing. So in one sec. Brahma means I have put the meaning as in this first Brahma as all that is Vedas. Vedas are also called Brahma. There are many meanings for the word Brahma. Brahma is that which expands. So in this case, the commentators have said first Brahma relates to the Vedas. The sounds which come, which illumine everyone is called Brahma. Because Vidya we are speaking about. Okay. So he is the Adipati. Adipati is also one who protects, overlord. Pa, the Adi, Pa. The word the Pa means to protect. Palaya, Pahi. Those are words which you have come across. Pa means to protect. So one who protects the Brahma, Brahma Adipati means knowledge, Vedas are protected by the Lord, Ishana. Okay. The next one is Brahmana Adipati. So that's also a Sandhi, Brahmano Adipati. You see, this O, this S is actually called Avagraha, which is A, which comes in the middle of a compound word. When two words come together, it is usually silent, it is not pronounced. Okay, so it's Brahmanodhipati is the way it's pronounced, which is basically Brahmana Adhipati. So that is because of the Sandhi. The Visarga becomes O. Okay, Brahmano Dhipati. And this A becomes silent. And it's written as an Avagraha, S-shaped letter. Brahmanodipati, the Lord of Brahmanas. Because in the Vedas, Brahmanaspati is one of the Lord to whom all the worship is offered. So, what is Brahmana? This Brahmana is general people who come from that Brahmana is called Brahmanas. So, who have understood the Brahmanas, there are various meanings given. One meaning given is Hiranyagarbha, one who is the womb of gold, Hiranyagarbha, from which everything emanates. That is called Brahmanodipati. Okay, who is the parent, father, or protector of everything that is following the Brahma, who is learning the Brahma, who is living like the Brahma. With that knowledge, that's called Brahmanodipatir. Okay, Brahmadipatir, Brahmanodipati. Okay, then he is Brahma. So in this case, Brahma means one who expands. You can say creation also is covered by Brahma. But in this case, you can say Brahma is one who expands, one who creates this world also. So Brahmadipati, Brahmanodipati, Brahma, Shivo. Shivo is again Sandhi, Visarga has become O, Shivo. So actually the word is Shiva, means Shiva, auspiciousness. Okay. Me, to me. Okay. Oh, mine. Two meanings are possible for the word me. Astu, be Sada Shiva. So let that Shiva, let Brahma, that Rudra, let him be auspicious, ever auspicious to me. Om. He is also the Omkara. When he's auspicious means let him be in me, let him be mine, let me be that. All meanings are possible for this. So Brahmadipatir, Brahmanodhipatir, Brahma Shivo me astu sada Shivom. Okay. I'll just read it once again. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Brahmadipatir Brahmanodipatir Brahma Shivo me astu sada Shivom. This Vidya, I didn't dwell too much on it, which is Atma Vidya. Vidyanam Atma Vidya, as Krishna says, among all the knowledge of the Atman is the supreme Vidya, which is what we referred earlier also. Tat Purushaya Vidmahe. Okay, so the same, you can see the same thing is continued in this mantra as well as, because he is the Lord of all Vidyas. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam is the Lord of all the Vidyas. So we should understand. So it is including the spiritual knowledge, Atmic knowledge. He is the ruler. Okay, so I thought I would just touch upon that. I think I've duplicated this slide, but let me go to the next one. Again, I took some material from one of Swami's discourses where he talks about Shiva, Sadashiva, because the word Sadashiva has come because the final one, the fifth aspect of Shiva is granting grace. So Anugraha. Okay, so and he is called Sadashiva. So I have taken a discourse, excerpt from a discourse where Swami is talking about Sadashiva. So let's just read that. I felt it aptly aligns with this mantra. You can realize your truth by following the path that will lead to that knowledge. See, the word knowledge is given. Only you must be prepared for the discipline and the travail. When I give you a drug, you must take it in the prescribed dosage and adhere strictly to the regimen of food, sleep, and exercise I recommend. Of course, the anxiety to get cured quickly is commendable, but there is a timetable for all this. Moderation is productive of better results than excess. Women know that when they add water to a cooked dish in order to reduce the taste of excess salt, they have to also add necessary quantities of other ingredients in order to make it tasty. In the same way, I have to reduce the excessive attachment you have for the things of the world. And when I do that, I have to correct by various other methods. I shall cure you slowly and patiently. The more slowly I do it, the more lasting it will be. I shall reveal to you the Atma Lingam without fail. So Sarva Vidya, all kinds of knowledge is covered by here. It says, Swami says it's not only Atma Vidya only, even that is to be achieved, there are other things also he has to do. So he will teach in many different ways, and we need to just submit ourselves. Yes, great days are coming. Let not your sloth stand across and deprive you of the chance. When you listen to my story, you forget the story of the world and live only in my story until there is no separate story for you to relate or live. So, knowledge of everything, Sarva Vidya, has to be pointed to that Vidya, only one Vidya. Well, to make you storyless is the scheme of my story. Sada Shivalingam indicates the person who is ever of the form of Shiva. Here and everywhere, night and day, in joy and grief, the person is Shiva. Happy, auspicious, graceful. Bliss, Anandam, is their breath, their motive force, their demeanor, their inner and outer expression. Sada means always and forever. Shivam is auspicious. There's no room here for controversy or intellectual rivalry and competition, like the ones indulged in by pundits and scholars, misusing the valuable paper manufactured by the mills of this country. Install Sadashiva Lingam in the consciousness, and all things will be revealed to you, step by step, by the grace of the divine indweller. 20th October 61. Swami has given this discourse. It's about 70 odd years or so. And so this sort of nicely captures this mantra. Again, we will look at the meaning of it. Ishana Sarva Vidyanam is the Lord of all knowledges. That means he grants us knowledge. Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam, he is the Lord of every living being. Brahmana Adipati, he is the Lord of all the knowledge, the Vedas. Brahmana Adipati, he is the one who is the Lord over everyone who practices and learns about Brahman and lives the path of Brahma. Brahma, he is the one who expands. Shivo is auspicious. May, to me, let him be Sadashiva Om. Let him be the ever auspicious one. So that is what we are striving towards, and that has been nicely described in one of Swami's discourse in 1961. So I thought I found it very apt. We will go to the next mantra. Now we have covered all the 5. Then now there are certain Namaskara mantras, they are called, which follow. We are going to cover those as well, I think, because those are being chanted, learned and chanted as part of Shivokasana Mantra. So we'll go over them. Namo Hiranya Bahave. This is Ba, okay? There is a line. Va is just like a D, and there's a line in between. I think if it's not very clear here, hope you can see it. Ba Hiranya Bahave, Hiranya Varnaya, Hiranya Rupaya, Hiranya Pataye, Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye, Namo Namaha. Namo Hiranya Bahave, Hiranya Varnaya, Hiranya Rupaya, Hiranya Pataye, Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye, Namo Namaha. We'll just quickly look at them. Namaha means salutation. We bow down. So start off with that. And Namaha, because of Sandhi, it becomes O, Namo. We have looked at it before. So Hiranya Bahave. 2 for Hiranya Bahu. So this is the 4th vibhakti. So the simple noun is Hiranya Bahu. Okay. Hiranya we have already looked at, but I reproduced what we looked at. Hiranya means one who is golden. Hiranya is gold. One who is beneficial and delightful. He stands for Hitam. Ra stands for Ramyam or Ramanam. Okay, so that is what is beneficial and what is delightful. Okay, what is pleasing. Bahuhu means a person with the arms is called Bahuhu. Okay, so the one who has Hiranya arms, he is Hiranya Bahave. Baha, Bahu, Hiranya Bahu. And so we are addressing to that Hiran. So we are bowing down to that Hiranya Bahu. I have not repeated the meaning of Hiranya. So Varnaya, to the Varna, one who has that color. So Varna means color, glow, or nature also. All of them use the word Varna. Okay. So with the one who is of the golden hue, golden color, golden shine, golden glow, whichever way you want to put it. The next one is Hiranya Rupaya, to the one with the form, Rupa. Rupa is form. Pataye, to the Lord. Okay. Hiranya Pataye. Pati means Lord. Pataye means to that Lord. Means one who looks after. Pa, we have already looked at one who protects all that is good, all that is beneficial, all that is delightful is protected by the Lord. So that's why he's called Hiranya Pati. Then the next one is Ambika Pataya. Actually, this is actually Pataye is the word, but because of Sandhi, that A is dropped. Ambika Pataye, then if you stand alone, that's Ambika Pataye. Because Pati, the fourth vibhakti is Pataye, just the way here it is. So Pataye appears Hiranya Pataye, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye. Same way, Pataye is Ambika, but because of the Sandhi, the A is dropped, and so you say Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye. Ambika means mother. So the Lord of the mother. So you can also say Lord of the motherliness. Because Shiva is Ardhanarishwara. He is partly Parvati, mother. So Ambika Pata is the mother of Ambika. Father, so the Lord of Ambika. Uma Pataye is the Lord of Uma. Uma, there are various meanings given. It's considered the daughter of Himalaya, Himavan. Okay, Parvati, Sati Devi was born to Daksha, is supposed to have taken birth again as Parvati. Parvati means the daughter of Parvata is Parvati, the lord of the mountain lord. But Uma is also another meaning. It also means one who is tranquil, and one who does penance is also called Uma. Um, in Kumara Sambhavam, which is a work of Kalidasa, he says, Uma, Ma, the mother apparently, the mother of Parvati, her name is Mena or Menaka, both are used. Apparently, because the daughter started doing severe penance from the age of 5 to attain Lord Shiva, she said, Ma. Okay, so don't do penance, heavy penance. Don't do that, was her request. Because of that, her name became Uma. Means she was always on doing tapas, so she was always being called Uma. Means don't do too much tapas. Okay, and that's also one of the meanings of Uma, and that's why she was called Uma. That's what poet Kalidasa sings. But we should also look at the Uma has 3 letters: U, Ma, and A. Actually, these are the same sounds which form the part of Om. A, U, Ma. This M, Ma, U. It's a U, Ma, A. So it is just that A from the beginning has come to the end. Ma means you will say Om. So it is another manifestation of Om, is also another meaning which is given. So you can say he is the Lord of Omkaram. Uma is nothing but Om. So that is also another meaning which is given. I have not written it all in detail. I thought I'll just talk about it. So A is another permutation and combination of Om. Okay. Pashu means all beings, animal qualities, all of them are considered Pashu. Pashupati means the Lord. He is the Lord of all living beings. He is the Lord of all. He is capable of controlling the animality in us. That's why he's called Pashupati. Namaha, Namaha. Namaha, Namaha becomes Namo Namaha because of Sandhi. Visarga becomes O. Namo Namaha. Okay, Namaha, Namaha. We double prostrations to this Hiranya Lord. Okay, so that is the meaning of this mantra. We'll read once. Namo Hiranya Bahave, Hiranya Varnaya, Hiranya Rupaya, Hiranya Pataye, Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye, Namo Namaha. Namo Hiranya Bahave, Hiranya Varnaya, Hiranya Rupaya, Hiranya Pataye, Ambika Pataya, Uma Pataye, Pashupataye, Namo Namaha. So that is the Namaskara Mantra, first Namaskara Mantra. I thought I will do get an excerpt on Uma by Swami. So that is from Ramakatha Rasavahini, Volume 1, Chapter 7. It's an excerpt. So the younger daughter, the older daughter of Himavan is apparently Ganga, and the younger daughter is Uma. Okay. So Swami is talking about the younger daughter Uma entered a life of extreme asceticism. She immersed herself in hard spiritual discipline, prompted by supreme detachment from everything worldly. So Himavan sought to settle her in the world as a wife. In spite of strenuous endeavor, he could not succeed in this for long. At last, he persuaded Rudra to wed her. Thus, she too became entitled to the adoration of the three worlds. This is a story being told by Vishwamitra to the Rama and Lakshmana when he took them with him to protect the yajna. So he's explaining about Uma. So that's, I thought, you can see Swami is laying a lot of importance on the supreme detachment. So Umapati means anyone who is engaged in hard spiritual discipline with detachment from the entire world. He is the Lord of them who protects them. Make sure that their spiritual discipline and any aspirations are protected by any worldly attacks. So Umapati. And so I thought I would just use that. So that's what I had prepared for today. It's about 9:50. I think I may have gone a bit fast here and there. I did not want to pack too much. So I will pause here. If there are any questions, I will answer. Saira. Yes, Brother Vimalesan, please go ahead.
Sairam, I just want to the five faces facing directions. The Ishana, you said, is the east facing, is it?
Ishana is upward facing.
Upward, okay. Okay, I just want to.
So I will go over that, which I've.
Okay.
The first, I started with that only. See. So the first one is west facing, Sadhyojata. Vamadeva is north facing. Aghora is south facing. Tatpurusha is east facing. Ishana is upward facing.
Okay.
But there are a couple of different texts have given certain slight changes, but this is the general, majority of the phases described are this. So ultimately, it's all for our own use. After Shiva
Right.
is not only having 5 faces, he's looking everywhere, but
Yeah.
this is generally the agamic principles, which is mainly Kashmir Shaivism, and I think in the south also, in Shaivite, the Agamas, these are mentioned. So I hope that I
Okay.
do not
Thank you.
debate.
Okay.
So west, north, south, east, and upwards.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Auntie, can I guess, Auntie? I think you may have to unmute and speak, Auntie.
I just realized that Ambika Pataya, Umapati, Pasupati, these are very common names in Tamil. We don't know the meaning. We just give the meaning thinking it's a Shiva's name. That's all.
Yes.
But now only I realize that all this is like Umapati is this and everything. So thank you for the explanation. That's what I just got.
Okay, thank you, Auntie Sairam. Sairam, Brother Dasan, you can go.
Brother. The Swami's discourse, you explained nicely that Swami is comparing the seed and the body. I need to get more something extra information. The reason is, if I ask the tree, the fruits are there, branches are there, leaves are there, fully matured. And if you ask the tree, it will tell you came from the seed. But in our life, we all see it, but we have to mature that one. That means we are divine sparkle. You are saying the seeds. Then can you elaborate on that one, brother?
Okay, brother, it's yes, it is. I will answer the question. The thing is, what Swami says, from seed the tree grows, but at the end, every fruit will have a seed, and that seed is a proper seed only from a ripe fruit. Whichever part of the tree ripens, their seed is fully present and in its complete divine form. Whereas in other parts of the tree, they are all from the tree, from the seed, but they don't become the fruit. But they also are useful for the tree to go on. That's what I understand, brother. But I think you can contemplate and meditate on this, and I'm
Yes.
sure Swami will reveal what has to be revealed.
Thank you, brother. Sai Ram.
Yes, Brother Kumar.
Brother, I have a Sanskrit question here. I know that Ishana Sarva Vidyanam, if you go to that slide, please.
Okay, I will go.
I'm looking, yeah, Ishana Sarva Vidyanam. Yeah. Yeah, and the first one is the Ishana is the ruler, but then Sarva Vidyanam. I mean, if I'm looking at the Vidyanam, I'm trying to figure out where the Ya coming in there.
Oh, so
Sorry.
this letter, sir. If you look at, I think I have given the letters, compound letters. This one actually is Idya. If you really look at it, so let me try to write. Okay. So if you see there, you will see this. Do you see this? That's the first part of the letter. Then the second one, where it ends, it goes like this. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So that is how you get the it then yeah. Okay, it's vanishing. So I don't know why it is vanishing. Draw, okay, sorry. I don't know, for some reason it is okay, this and then yeah. Something like that it goes, brother.
Okay.
So you can see both. Id, half of Id and half of Ya.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is Idya. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yes, Kalyani.
Sorry, Uncle. On that, the slide about the seed,
Yes.
so where Swami says the seed is the basis of everything in the tree. So, the seed is like the representative of divinity.
Yes.
But then later on, in the near the bottom, it says the seed of bodily attachment has to be given up. So here, there's Swami saying the seed is the body attachment. Can you just clarify that?
Yeah, so I see my understanding is because these are, I will try to get the original one and read, because usually in discourses, when they try to summarize, some of the information is lost. But my understanding is when we are born, the delusion also is a seed which is born along with the seed. And that has to be given up, is what Swami says. The seed, see, what he says is, a seed continuously germinates. But the thing is, we have to take that seed and we have to fry it in the fire of jnana. So that tendency to regerminate is lost. That's my understanding. So when Swami says that aspect of the seed, which tends to germinate again and again, has to be given up. Okay. And then only that seed becomes a source of wisdom and bliss. And this is my understanding, but I will do some research and I will present maybe next week. But it's a good question. I will I have to do some research of. I will listen to the audio and get the longer version of what Swami has explained and come back. I hope it's available.
Okay, thank you. And I think you probably mentioned it before when we were doing Gayatri Mantra, but can you break down the word prachodaya?
I will do that next time.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. I think I may have not done. Let me get back to you on that. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And is there any significance to like the 5 faces and them facing these 5 directions? Or is it just for us to kind of think that, God is everywhere?
I think, God is everywhere. I think, that, just for the sake of physical sadhana, people attribute various qualities to the Lord, 4 hands, 5 faces, so that the thought of finding God everywhere becomes natural for us. Whenever we look east, they will say, oh, this is Ishana. Whenever you see, oh, this is Satyojata. So everything, I think the Rishis designed everything in such a way that when we go around in our world, in our life, everything will remind us of the Lord. I think that's ultimately, God is facing every direction, even down and up and anywhere. So I think it is to start off sadhana in some way. These becomes useful tools. That's my understanding, but that's beyond Sanskrit question. But that's all my understanding. I don't.
So these words actually, they would use it to say east, west. They would use these words like that.
Yes.
Oh, wow. And just the last question, what does it mean by Hiranya Bahu, like golden arms? Like, what is that?
So the arms, I think we will look at in more detail when we come to Rudram. Bahu relates to any activity. Hands, arms show whatever action we perform in this world. So the Lord is the one who makes all the beneficial actions in this world, who in every delight. For example, if you look at the nature scenery, it's so beautiful. Who has made? Hiranyabahu has made it. Who is making us food in this world? He is the one who is making, because Hiranyabahu. Somebody is doing the work, unseen, unobserved. I think that's what it means. The Lord is ever active, doing things which are beneficial for all of us. And if you look at Swami saying, Swami says, I am going to do this to you. In Atma Lingam he says, I will do. When you listen, I am going to do this work of, I am going to do. You must be prepared. I will do the work. Okay, I'm curing you. All that is Hiranyabahu. When the Lord decides, I'm going to take up this activity of helping the world, helping people realize themselves, that Lord is Hiranyabahu. He is engaged in the activity. It symbolizes activity.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yes, Brother Dasan?
Yes, Sairam, brother. So based on your explanation, brother, and the seeds become tree and tree becomes seeds again. So same thing for we also, when we have the body consciousness, then we have to born again, death and the birth cycle over and over and again. Thank you, Sairam, brother.
Sairam. Swami says, there are trees without seeds also. Trees with fruits without seeds.
Yes, brother.
So we should not be like that.
Yeah.
Swami has. It's ultimately it's an analogy. As long as it drives home the point which we have to learn, I think that matters.
Thank you, brother. Sairam.
Uncle, I just wanted you to, can you say again the part about Uma's mother? So Ma, so the Ma part means don't or don't?
Yes, Ma means don't.
Oh,
Okay.
And
Who means anything which is painful, anything which is, who can be means oh. Okay. Don't do, who means we generally use to show something which is very hard, very painful, very, So Ma means don't do, don't do. I mean, don't stress yourself too much. I think that kind of meaning, that's what Kalidasa has mentioned. So in passing, I thought I'll mention, because it's quoted many places, including by Shayanacharya in his Bhashya, he has quoted it. So I thought, Umeti, like that he goes, Tapasa. So I thought I'll just mention it. Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Uma, is there a meaning called don't go?
Yes.
Is that because she wanted to go and she stopped? Uma.
Yeah, anything, don't try all this. That was the command, repeated statement by Mena to Uma, apparently. So
Menaka was Himavan's wife, is that so?
Yes, Mena is Himavan's wife, yes. She's also called Menaka or Mena, both are used. But Kalidasa in his Kumara Sambhavam, this uses Mena. So I think it's a bit too early. Sorry about it, but I think you have half an hour back. If there are no questions, we can close the session today. And we'll continue. I think I will wrap it up next Saturday. All the mantras, there are a couple of more mantras. Then we move on to Rudram by Swami's grace. So we'll close with Samasta Loka and Shanti Sai. Om Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samasta Loka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.